Hello, my name is Peter, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the difference between arrays and vectors in C++. Let's get started. First, I'm going to include IOStream. Then I'm going to include string. And then I'm going to include using namespace std. Then I'm going to type system pause. Let's run this to make sure everything works. Oh, come on. Perfect. Now let's say you have to write a program that holds all the names of the people that work at your local McDonald's. And then your program has to put every name out to the screen. One way to do this would to create a string, name it name1, and set it equal to Susan. Then let's do this 5 more times. And change the variable names and change the actual name. Larry and Bob. Okay, so these are the names of the people that work at McDonald's. Next, we need to put out these names to the screen. So we go cout name1 and L, and it doesn't like that for some reason. Semicolon after Bob. Then let's copy this line and paste it 4 more times. 2, 3, 4, 5 total. Then we go, whoops. And then let's copy this line and paste it 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change the variable names. Alright, let's run this and see what happens. Susan, Phil, Sam, Larry, Bob. Perfect. Now let's say your boss wants you to add another name to the list of strings, and your boss also wants you to put that name out to the screen. So you would have to go copy, paste, name 6, name this guy Joe, and then copy the cout line, change it to 6, save, run, and now Joe's up there. So that's a pretty long process just to add one more name. And then you finally put Joe's name in the list, and then your boss comes and goes, hey, I want you to add all the names of all the people who work at McDonald's in this county. So then you would have to do a lot of copying and pasting and a lot of work. A more organized way would be to use an array. Let me set up this diagram. So let's say you have a whole bunch of variables, A, B, C, D, E. So let's say variable A is an int, okay, and A is equal to the A is equal to spot of memory, and in the spot of memory is a number 5. So A is equal to spot of memory, and in that spot of memory is a number 5. So anytime we get A, A goes to the spot in memory and pulls out 5. So with this in mind, let's go to variable C and say C is a string and it's equal to a place in memory that is equal to a name. So if I go string C equals name. And then if we go C out, C, name is going to come on the screen. 5 name. Perfect. So this is pretty basic, but let's say we change C and say C is equal to the address of the first string in a list of strings. So C variable is equal to the address of the first string in this list of strings in memory. Each string is called an element in this list. We would write this as there we go, string C. Then we would put these brackets, and then in these brackets we would put how many elements we want in the list. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make it 5 in our diagram, and then let's put 5 in here. So if we want to access the first element, we would go C, put these brackets again, and since C is equal to the address of the first element, we want to move 0 places from the first address to get at the first element. And we would set this to Susan. Then we would go C, and then we want to move over 1 place from the first element. So it would go C is equal to the address of the first element. Then it would move over 1 spot to right here and set it to Bob. And then we would keep on doing this for all the elements. So we want to move over 1 place, 2 place, 3 place, and 4 place. Not 5 places, because if we move over 5 places, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is some other spot in memory that is equal to something, and we would be changing that spot in memory. So never go beyond your number of elements. So let's go Susan, Bob, Phil, Sam, Joe. Great. And I'm going to change the name of C for practical purposes, so names. Okay, so names is a list of strings in memory. And then if we go for, create a for loop, and then go 5 for the 5 elements in this array, then we can go cout names, brackets, and then we can put I in here, and L. And if we run this, we should see all the names printed out. Susan, Bob, Phil, Sam, Joe. Perfect. And then when your boss comes back to you and says, hey, add another name, you can just go change that to 6, change this to 5, and change this to 6 also. Save, run. We should get Joe twice. Jojo. Perfect. So this works, but let's say your boss comes back and goes, hey, I want you to add 50 more people to your list of people. So you have to go copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, change this to 56, change this to 56, and that's a lot of work. So another way we can do this is by using vectors. So first I need to go include vector, then type vector, and a vector is a template for those of you who know what a template is. And then these two brackets, type in your data type. It can be string, int, bool, it can be anything. I'm just going to use string. Name it names, and I'm done. With arrays, you'd put these brackets, but do not put these brackets here, because what this line of code means is I want an array of 10 vector strings, not 10 elements in my vector strings. So don't do that unless you want to create an array of vectors. So if we go names dot pushback, pass it Susan, end of line. Let me show you what's happening. So if we have names is equal to the address of the first element in our list. Now, at this line of code, name has no elements. At this line of code, name goes to the last element, pushes it back, adds a new one, names it Susan, and then if we call pushback again and pass Bob, it goes to the last element, pushes it back, and adds Bob. If we do this again and go fill, goes to the last element, pushes it back, adds fill. You get the idea. So now that we have this set up, we can go on. So let's add the rest of our names, Sam and Larry. Now let's create a for loop. And instead of putting 5, which would work, we can go names dot size like this, because names dot size returns the size of the list, which is much more dynamic. Then we can do the same thing we did for the arrays, and now we use these brackets, put I in there, and L, save, run, and it works. And if we need to add another person, we can just call pushback again, save, run, and it works. So let's say you needed to add 50 more names. Well, one way to do that would be to use a while loop. But first we need to create a few variables. So we need a boolean to control the while loop and name it keep going. Set it equal to true. Next we need a string and name it input. Hope someone caught my in joke. Anyway, create, and to catch the input, now we can go cout, please type in the next name, \end of line, cin input. Then we can go cout, keep going, question mark, yes or no, cin input, and then we can go for loop. Actually, nope, not for loop, sorry. We already are in a loop. We can go, whoops, tab, tab. Okay, we can go if input is equal to no, then keep going equals false. And then we can go while keep going is equal to true. Keep going. Let's save and run this. Here's an error. Oh, extra bracket in there. Typing too fast, probably. Save, run. Please type in the next name. Billy. Keep going. Yes. Type in the next name. Doesn't matter what I type. Please type in the next name. Let's go. Hector. Type in the next. Keep going. Yes. Type in the next name. 50. Keep going. Yes. Next name. End me. Keep going. No. Susan, Bob, Sam, Phil, Larry, Joe. And the reason why their names can get put out to the screen is because we see an input, but we need to go names dot pushback input. There. Now this should work. Test. Yes. Billy. Hector. 50. Yes. And end me. No. There. Billy, Phil, Sam, Larry, Joe, Test, Billy, Hector, 50, and end me. Perfect. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For only 12 lines of code, you can add as many names as you want instead of copying and pasting this 50 times. So I think that's it. So that's arrays versus vectors in C++. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.